You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
I am back, Rudrance, for Black and White Sports. We're going to talk about Michael Irvin because we got two pieces of news, both of them very significant, big pieces of news. One of them you may or may not want to take with a grain of salt, even though it does finally detail what Michael Irvin said to this alleged Jane Doe that is floating around out there that accused Michael Irvin of saying some lewd things, and we now know kind of what it was, all right? And we have Michael Irvin's legal camp and Michael Irvin scoring a major victory. Marriott was ordered to turn over the video, right? The surveillance video. Marriott didn't do that, all right? They let Michael Irvin's attorney see the video, come in and see the video. Remember, Marriott wanted this moved out of Texas. They had it removed to get a federal judge. So what does Marriott do? They pissed this judge off royally. They blatantly ignored his court order, and he just comes out and says it. So let's do that first, and then we'll get to the juicy details of what Michael Irvin supposedly said, which you can certainly take however you want to, and you can believe whatever you want to believe. This is Florio, who's also a lawyer. I always like to mention that because I do think it gives us a certain kind of perspective. This is via Michael Gilkin of the Dallas Morning News. A federal judge concluded that Marriott, quote, blatantly violated an order requiring the company to surrender surveillance video to Irving. This judge is pissed. Judge Amos Manzant ordered the company to submit an unredacted video to Irving's lawyers by 5 p.m. Central on Friday. He also declined to prevent Irving from making the video public. So this video may come out, and my feeling is it probably will, because look, from what I've seen, the public for the most part is backing Mike on this. All right, this really doesn't pass the sniff test, and I think a lot of people realize this. You've got an athlete, a famous athlete, NFL Hall of Famer, yanked from his television duties in what feels like what might be a potential grab, right? And not to mention running Michael's name through the mud, and the fact that this has happened to Mike before and he was proven to be innocent. That certainly helps Mike out here. Quote, that's the penalty you face, Judge Manzant said. A more tactful version of, quote, F around and find out. Judge Manzant said he was, quote, dumbfounded by the strings Marriott attached to its disclosure of the video, allowing attorney Levi McCatherine, that is Mike's attorney, to see it without giving him a copy. Quote, I am not accustomed to, as a judge, people violating my orders, Judge Manzant said. Attorney Celeste Creswell, who represents Marriott, insisted during the hearing that Marriott respects the court orders. Quote, I'll be very candid, Judge Manzant replied. You haven't shown that. And that's the reason we're here. Am I happy about it? No, I'm not happy about that. It seems like Marriott just looked at my order and didn't produce the video. It's a stunning display of corporate arrogance, but speaking on as someone who has both represented major companies and sued them on behalf of their former employees, it's not surprising. Lawyers often have to be willing to stand up to a corporate client that want you to do something stupid because stupid will resonate through the rest of litigation. That's right. Now the judge is going to give the fuzzy eyeball to the lawyers for Marriott. That's the bigger problem Marriott has. Real damage has been done to the relationship between the court and the defendant. Judge Manzant will be skeptical of everything Marriott says and does. Unless they get their shit together quickly, they're going to end up wearing it. Okay. So this made Marriott look very badly. And it will carry weight later on. Also, not to mention the fact that the video will probably come out in public. All right. Which may shine a further strong light on it. Marriott got ordered to turn this video over, and they just took it upon themselves to not do it. To not turn the video over, not give a copy. And the judge is even saying there's nothing preventing them from going public with the video. Wow. Whew, that does not make Marriott look good. Marriott claims Irving made a vulgar advance towards an employee. Okay, so we're finally getting some actual details as to what was supposedly said. According to a court filing from hotel chain Marriott, a female hotel staffer accused him of, quote, unwelcome sexual advances. Marriott says it released these allegations in a court filing because of false statements Irving and his attorney made during a news conference Wednesday. Irving's attorney said the allegations are, quote, hogwash, and they now plan to release the security video of the incident. Ruh-roh. So this backfired on Marriott. Irving appeared emotional Wednesday as he and his attorney held a news conference to discuss his defamation suit. He filed it after a Phoenix hotel employee reported misconduct against him, which later led him to be taken off NFL Network coverage leading up to the Super Bowl. No, I didn't do anything wrong. I know I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, so let's scroll down to what was supposedly said. The documents say that Irving returned to the Renaissance Phoenix Hotel on February 5th. He, quote, appeared visibly intoxicated. You know what's weird? That witness video that came out, he did not seem drunk in that video at all. That's strange to me. He didn't seem drunk in that video. And in a conversation with a female staffer, asked a lewd question that's too graphic to detail on TV, but referenced intercourse with a black man. Attorneys for Marriott say, quote, taken aback by Irving's comments, the victim responded that his comments were inappropriate and she did not wish to discuss it further. Irving then attempted to grab the victim's hand and said he was sorry if he brought up bad memories for her. The victim pulled away her hand and tried to back away from Irving as he continued to move towards her. According to Marriott, two other hotel employees noticed the victim had a concerned look on her face. Irving then stated that he would come back to find her sometime that week when she was working. Marriott goes on to say another employee walked over to Irving after the victim walked away, and that, quote, after Irving finished leering at the victim and turned back to employee one, he said out loud, she's bad, followed by a sexual remark. Then he slapped himself 3 times in the face, saying, keep it together, Mike. Interesting. Attorney Levi McCatherine said Friday that the allegations are hogwash and none of this is backed up by the witnesses. Referencing a man who took part in Wednesday's press conference. They go on to talk about they basically heard some laughter, a few handshakes, there was laughter, and everybody went their separate ways. It was super friendly. Marriott is asking the judge to set limits on what can be said publicly in the case. This sickens me because in this country, this takes me back to a time where a white man, a white woman would accuse a black man of something, and they would take a bunch of guys that were above the law, run in the barn, wrap a rope around his foot, and drag him through the mud and hang him by a tree. And he made that analogy the other day. So, there's a lot to unpack there. Well, so that video, Marriott violated the judge's orders. Did not turn the video. They were supposed to take that video, make a copy of it, and give it to Irving's legal camp and or Michael Irvin or whoever. And they were supposed to be able to hold a copy of it, use it at their leisure, release it to the public if they felt they needed to. And Marriott just refused to follow the order. And that judge is pissed about it. Now, as far as the statements go, who knows what was really said? All right? We don't know that. We don't know that that's accurate. We don't know that that's not accurate. So, we've got to be skeptical of anything. Maybe Michael Irvin did say these things. But the point is, there's a whole lot of fire going around surrounding the discounting of that statement that was given and what was said. I don't know. Tell me what you think, black and white sports supporters. Wow. Couple of big things in one video on this case. This case has got a lot of attention. There's a lot of fire around it. A lot of people interested in this case. Florio, these videos have been some of the most watched videos as of late on this channel. Florio also said it's the number one driver on Pro Football Talk right now, this Michael Irvin case. This is a big deal, all right? This guy's a legend in Texas. He's a Dallas Cowboy, one of the greatest receivers the NFL's ever seen. A guy that comes across extremely likable on TV, down to earth in the things you've seen, involving interactions with the everyday public, doesn't act like he's a superstar. Interesting. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Black and White Network supporters, make sure you go over and check out the Black and White Network merchandise store. 25% off USA First. 25% off USA First. Go now.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.